The I in IEP presents Choosing Your Accommodations. There are many different accommodations. How do you choose the accommodations that are right for you? The types of accommodations are presentation accommodations, response accommodations, setting accommodations, timing and scheduling accommodations, and organization skills accommodations. Presentation accommodations change the way information is taught to you. For example, listen to audio recordings instead of reading text. Learn content from audiobooks, movies, videos, and digital media instead of reading print versions. Work with fewer items per line or page. Work with text in a larger print size. Have a designated reader, someone who reads test questions aloud to you. Hear instructions spoken aloud. Record a lesson instead of taking notes. Get class notes from another student. See an outline of a lesson or use fill-in-the-blank notes. Use visual presentation of verbal material, such as word webs, and get a list of written instructions. Response accommodations change the way you complete assignments or tests. For example, answer questions in a way that's easier for you, like writing, typing, or speaking the answers. Dictate answers to a scribe who writes or types. Use an audio recorder to record answers. Use a spelling dictionary or digital spell checker. Use a word processor or computer to type notes or give answers in class. Use a calculator or table of math facts. Use your AAC, Augmentative Alternative Communication, or your talker to give answers. Use eye gaze or pointing to give answers. Next, setting accommodations change the location, seating, or physical setup in which you receive instruction or do your classwork. For example, you can work or take a test in a different setting, such as a quiet room with few distractions. Sit where you learn best, for example, near a teacher. Use special lighting or acoustics, that's the way things sound. Take a test in a small group setting. Use sensory tools such as an exercise band that can be looped around a chair's leg, or a non-distracting fidget, or a different kind of chair. Have a seat near a classmate who helps you focus. Use a different kind of chair that helps you focus or gives you support. Timing and scheduling accommodations give extra time or allow breaks while completing assignments or tests. For example, you could take more time to complete a test or a task. Have extra time to process spoken information and directions. Take frequent breaks, such as after completing a worksheet. Take more time to complete a project. Take a test in several time sessions or over several days. Take sections of a test in a different order, or take a test at a specific time of day, such as in the morning. Organizational skills accommodations are used when you have trouble being organized. Some accommodations are: use an alarm to help with time management. Mark textbooks or worksheets with a highlighter. Use color coding to keep track of materials. Use a planner or organizer to help manage assignments. Have someone make sure you have written homework down correctly. Receive study skills help. Get help with organizing your locker or backpack. How to choose the right accommodations. First, think about things that seem much harder for you than for your classmates. Think about the things that you told your team are hard for you. Remember the things you told your team make things easier. Look at lists of common accommodations. You don't have to choose an accommodation from that list, but the list may help you come up with ideas. Ask your team for help deciding what accommodations will work for you. Ask to try different things. You can try out accommodations to see if they work for you before they go in your IEP. Accommodations don't take the place of hard work. Sometimes learning new things is hard. That's okay. Accommodations are supposed to support you, but not keep you from learning and growing. For example, if somebody always puts your shoes on for you, you may never learn how to put your shoes on yourself. One day you may want to go outside, but nobody is there to put your shoes on and you can't go outside. The best accommodation is something you can always have access to, even if an adult isn't there to help you. An accommodation should help you, but not do it for you. School is supposed to help you learn to be as independent as you can be when you grow up. An accommodation can't do the work for you. An accommodation is to support your learning, not to do the work for you. For example, if your class is learning to add, you should try to learn to add too. You shouldn't use a calculator to add for you when you're just learning how. Trying your best is important. What should I do if a teacher won't let me use my accommodations? First, it's important to speak up for yourself. If a teacher says you can't use an accommodation, there are things you can do. Follow these steps. If one doesn't work, try the next one. First, politely remind the teacher the accommodation is in your IEP. Second, ask to talk to your special education teacher or case manager and let them know what's going on. If that doesn't work, tell your parents, ask them to help. And then finally, ask for an IEP meeting to talk about it. Make sure that the teacher comes to the meeting. Speaking up. Remember, your IEP team is there to help you. Everybody wants to come up with a plan so you can do well. It's important that you talk to your team and tell them how you think and feel about the things in your plan. Your thoughts and feelings are important, and it's okay to say what you want and need. This publication is supported by SARTAC, Self-Advocacy and Beyond. This project is supported by the ARC Pikes Peak region. The I in IEP is a project created by Ashley Mabry to help students become self-advocates in their IEP meetings.